So when we're working with problems in which we have to find the average, what we have to remember we're doing is looking at finding the sum of the numbers, and we are dividing that by the number of numbers. So basically what this is saying is that whatever the sum of the numbers is, when we add them all up, total up everything we have in the problem, and divide that by how many of those numbers there were, when we solve that, that will give us the mean or the average, depending on whichever terminology we happen to be using for the problem. So if we take a look at this particular problem here, in a word game, 5 students in the class scored 100 points, 4 scored 95, 6 scored 90, and 5 scored 80. So what was the mean of the scores? Well, first thing we got to do is get a total for each of these different score amounts. So for our first one, we had 5 students, and they scored 100 points each. We had 4 students who were getting 95 points apiece, 6 students who were getting 90, and 5 students who were getting 80 apiece. So these 5 students scored 100. They scored a total of 500 points. The 4 students at 95, we take the 4 times 9, that gives us 360 plus 20 more. So there's 380 points. The 6 times 90, well, there's a total of 540 points for them. And then the 5 times 80, there's a total of 400 points. So what we're going to do is total those all up. What I would do is think here, 5 and 5 gives me 10. Then I have 17 plus the 1. So I have 1,820 total points. So that gives me the sum of the numbers. But what's the number of numbers? Well, that's the number of students, and that was what we had over here. So we have to actually total this up as well. Again, I had 5 and 5, that's 10. 4 and 6, that's 10 more. So I had a total of 20 students. So the sum of the numbers was 1,820. I had a total of 20 students, so now I need to divide that. If we wanted to do that as long division, is going to go into 1,820. We look at 182 first. Goes in there 9 times, gives us 180. Leaves us with 20. So we have a average score of 91. So our mean of the scores would be 91 points. Now notice that's not actually any of the scores up here, but since we had 20 students, 1,820 points, once all the math is done, this is the average we end up getting in the end, an average score of 91. So remember, whenever you're calculating average, it's always this idea here, the sum of the numbers divided by the number of numbers.